today's video, I'm going to show you my updated and improved hair oiling routine for healthy, longer hair, even while bleaching and coloring my hair. Hello friends and welcome to my channel where we talk about hair care for your curly hair. My name is Irena and these are the French curls. People have been oiling their hair from millennia. That's actually how pre-modern civilizations took care of their hair. The most known and probably one of the most ancient and better preserved approaches to hair oiling come from South Asia, where Ayurvedic hair care techniques have been passed down through generations for the last 5,000 years. As much as I love it and I respect it, I am by no means an expert on Ayurveda, which is India's ancient system of medicine. I will, however, link some resources on the description down below if you're interested in learning more about it. The concoction I make, it's inspired by Ayurveda, but it doesn't follow that ancient technique to a T, because getting all the right ingredients in France is no easy task. So I make do with what I have and what I can find. My first recommendation when choosing your oils is to get the purest version of the oil that you can afford. Try your best to choose oils that are not laden with additives or mineral oils or anything that doesn't need to be there. The first thing that I'm going to choose is my base oil. I choose coconut oil because it can penetrate the hair shaft better than most oils, thanks to their chemical structure. Having medium chain fatty acids like lauric acid with a low molecular weight that penetrates deep into the cortex, unlike most other oils that are simply too big to penetrate the cuticle. I know there are a lot of people whose hair rejects coconut oil, and if that's you, opt for olive oil or sweet almond oil or jojoba oil. And I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil to my concoction. The reason why I'm making a small batch is because I don't have a lab setting, meaning that I don't have a sterile setting, even if my kitchen is pretty clean. So it's not worthy of me making a big batch because it will go moldy, it will go bad. So I prefer to prepare what I am going to be using that day. It is not very complicated and I just think it is much better for my hair that way. So unless you have access to a lab setting or a sterile setting, I really recommend that you only do small batches of any concoction that you make for your hair or skin for that matter. Then I'm going to be adding my other oils and I'm going to be putting all the measurements of everything that I used and the quantities on the screen and on the description down below. I'm going to warm my oils slightly for best absorption. It's very warm here, so my coconut oil is already quite melted, but coconut oil melts at 24 degrees C, which means that you don't need to expose it to a lot of heat to have it runny. I don't like to put my oils in the microwave because I think that's too much heat, and the hotter you get your oil, the more properties it loses. So just a little warmth will do. So I make kind of a double boiler by putting boiling water in one container and my oils in a smaller container, and then I place the container with my oils in the hot water for them to melt and to be able to mix properly. I hope that makes sense, but it is just a way of giving them heat without it being direct heat. The oils I buy frequently are amla oil, that Ayurvedic doctors swear by. It is very high in vitamin C, but it will not stain your hair. I know people with grey hair sometimes veer away from vitamin C because vitamin C stains your grey hair, but amla oil won't do that, so don't worry if that is you. And vitamin C strengthens the hair follicle, so it is great for your scalp as well as your hair. I also like neem oil, although I don't have any. I love moringa oil. It makes your hair so easy to detangle, moringa does. I also added castor oil. There is a lot of anecdotal evidence of castor oil promoting healthy hair growth. Castor oil is really sticky and it's not the easiest oil to work with, so be kind of respectful of the amounts that you use on your hair at once. I also like fenugreek oil. You can of course add whatever oils you have or whatever oils you prefer. You can also deepen your concoction by adding herbs or seeds from where these oils come from, but I'm just too lazy for that. I am not going to macerate my own oils or just get myself into all that hassle. And if you're worrying about costs, making your own oils, even in the way that I make it, in which you buy the oils already ready to use, it is still a lot cheaper than buying commercial oils for hair growth or hair health. I divide my hair in 4 sections so that I can apply the oils more evenly and for it to be easier to detangle. I will detangle my hair using only my hands because curly hair is safer to detangle wet with conditioner on. So I'm just going to get rid of the bigger knots, the most problematic knots, so that the oil can really coat most of my hair. I want to use the oil as nourishment and as a sealant for my hair. I have high porosity hair. If you color treat or bleach your hair like I do, you most likely have high porosity hair. Then you can apply your oils directly to dry hair. But if you have low porosity hair, humidifying your hair with a spray bottle might make it easier for the oils to work on your hair. I start applying my oils from my midts and ends upwards so that everything is coated, my scalp, my midts and my ends. Oils are fabulous at adding nourishment, elasticity and softness to your hair as well as your scalp. Oils can also help with moisture retention, but oils can't hydrate your hair. Only water can do that. And humectant ingredients like glycerin or aloe vera or marshmallow root extract. So make sure you are including humectants at other stages in your routine. I have a video where I talk about my favorite film-forming humectants. I'm going to link it for you to watch after this one. Once my hair is completely coated in the oil and I have worked the blunt of the knots out, it is when I concentrate on my scalp. I massage my scalp for about 5 to 10 minutes. You can do it for a lot longer, and if you have someone to do it for you, it's so much nicer and so much more relaxing. You can use your fingertips for this step. Make sure that you're not using your nails if you wear long nails, because you're going to harm your scalp, and that's not the aim of this exercise. You can also use a wooden comb. They can mimic the tips of your fingers and help you. If you wear really long nails, this would be the best option for you, but I use both methods and most methods work really, really well. Then when I'm done with oiling and my scalp massage, I put my hair in a shower cap, which I then top with a microwavable head cap to add warmth to my hair so the oils can penetrate better, and I leave it on for about 30 to 60 minutes. I really don't see how the oils would continue to be beneficial to your hair after 60 minutes, and since I've been taking my curly hair journey seriously for a whole year this August, I stopped completely conditioning my hair overnight. I just think that does more harm than good, and your pillowcase will hate you if you sleep with oils on your hair. You could also wrap your hair on a warm towel if you don't have one of those microwavable wrap thingies. And then I make sure that I double shampoo when I am removing the oils. And then I condition my hair as usual, I detangle, and then I am ready to style. You can repeat this hair oiling ritual once per week, every fortnight, or even just once per month. The help the scalp massaging do to your circulation is great. It's definitely going to promote a healthy scalp, which in turn will definitely promote healthy hair growth. Know that scientifically there is nothing apart of minoxidil until now that's been proven to help with hair growth or hair loss. But in my experience as someone with an autoimmune condition that went through a period of hair loss, hair oiling has definitely helped me and improved my hair journey and my hair recovery journey. So all of these are anecdotal proof, and it's not only coming from me, it's coming, as I said, from Ayurvedic doctors, and Chinese ancient medicine also promotes head massaging and many other cultures too. So sometimes anecdotal proofs are also really important to take into consideration, but just know that scientifically only minoxidil at 5% will help with hair loss. That is the technology that we have today proven to work. but helping your circulation and pampering yourself and loving yourself are some of the things that definitely will also help you on your hair recovery and on the betterment of your hair. Please give me a like if you found this video helpful. Make sure you are subscribed and that you share my channel with a friend so we can reach even more people together. I really want to grow my YouTube channel so that I can continue making these videos for you. So make sure that you do all of those things so that the algorithm loves me. Having said all that, thank you so much for watching and I will definitely see you next week. Bye bye guys. Happy hair oiling.